是简单赛前采访一下 T1 选手，这一次比赛打了很多的 TvT 啊，那接下来这场也是一个 TvT， 你觉得李培南选手的 T 的风格跟你之前遇到过的对手会有什么不一样呢？比如说跟吕布他们。
지금 경기장에서 테란전만 계속 하셨는데 올리베라 선수의 스타일이 뭐 이신영 선수라든지 다른 테란 선수에 비해서 어떤 다른 점이 있다고 생각하세요?
이번 대회 출전하는 테란 중에서 가장 강하다고 듣기도 했고 되게 공격적이라서 이신영 선수와 좀 스타일이 반대라 상대의 공격을 잘 막아야 될 것 같아요.
首先我觉得李培南选手的那个人族实力是现在参赛选手里面的实力是最强的，而且他的这个风格是跟 Innovation 不一样的，是偏攻击型的，所以我可能接下来要好好防一下他的攻击。
哦，那我们也是问一下李培南选手，昨天晚上听说又练到了半夜2、3点是吗？
没有那么晚，2点多吧，差不多。
2点多，那就你的好兄弟咖啡之前其实对战过 T1， 而且是战胜他的。我们想知道咖啡之前很多比赛都给你出谋划策，今天的比赛前咖啡给你出谋划策了吗？
其实国内的人族我们都会聊一下。昨天晚上我也找现在新一代的选手，他们知道我要打比赛，然后大家又在积极帮我准备，所以我觉得在准备方面我应该挺足的。
那这场比赛有没有信心拿下？
我不能立这种 flag 吧，但是我只能说，我还是说我是觉得我不能说我是最强的，但我觉得我是对这个比赛付出最多的，而且对于我来说，这个准备过程让我很踏实，结果无非就输或赢，但是我觉得过程是我这次所有准备比赛里，我觉得像之前职业比赛一样，所以我很有信心。
哇，我们给李培南一点元气吧，我们欢呼一下，为他加油！ 好的，谢谢大家。那么我们精彩的比赛马上就要开始了，把画面交给我们最专业的解说席。
好，欢迎回来啊！那么现在星际快闪店以及互动区都在营业中啊。
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Douyu Cup. Douyu Cup 2026, day number 4. We are back. We're live. We're getting ready here for the semi-finals, the lower semis. Of course, Scarlet versus Neeb did just wrap up, and Scarlet did advance on into the grand finals. And we're here to determine who will be joining Scarlet in those finals. Will it be one Terran or the other, TY or Oliveira? Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, once again, a big shout out to Baby Lings in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your translations, letting us know what is going on stage, what is being said between the players. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, some very wholesome stories as well. I'm sure you've seen throughout the course of the last 4 days, but every now and then we do have a giveaway on stage with the audience members, and sometimes we have some very wholesome, I mean, I say sometimes we have very wholesome comments. More often than not, they just grill the casters. They just... they grill F91 and Chassé, but today much more wholesome. It was cool to see. Feels good, man. Feels good. But here we go. We're getting ready for our next series here. Looks like we have 2 Terran casters. You can see them here, XY and Coffee. So XY and Coffee are going to be casting the TvT. Does make plenty of sense here as we get ready for TY versus Oliveira. We are getting ready. Whew. But again, do appreciate the translations, and it's going to be an interesting one as well. Coming into this TvT, it's going to be harder to call. Like, I do feel like when I look at the 3 Terrans in this tournament, Innovation, TY, and Oliveira, they're a little bit interchangeable with who's going to be stronger than the other. Innovation versus TY went all the way to the ace match, and really interesting to hear that, again, the players have been practicing quite intensely over the past 24 hours even in preparation for this match. We'll see how everything unfolds. Bearing in mind that when it comes to TvT, TvT can be very intense, can be very chaotic, and very often does end early as well. The kind of stereotype of like long late game stalemate TvTs is from many years gone by, from like Heart of the Swarm era of StarCraft. In Legacy of the Void, we saw a lot more cheese, proxies, aggression, 2-base play, and a lot of aggression as we claimed the third. We saw that a lot in the TY vs Innovation series, where we had 1 macro game. Out of all 5 games, only 1 of them led into mid-game play. That was the final game, actually, game 5. Between TY and Innovation. But here we go. We are getting ready here for our next series. Getting ready. Show us the Vitos, papi. Show us the Vitos. Beautiful. Wholesome toxicity. Exactly. Let's go. Even when they poke a bit of fun, it's a friendly level. Yeah, obviously. Always. The banter, baby, the banter. As we do have vetoes, and we're going to be jumping into game one. Game one is going to be on BlackRock. Vámonos, baby, vámonos. Practice till 2 a.m. last night. That's crazy. Also, oh my god, well, we'll get into it as jumping in. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of BlackRock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is TY. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Chinese Terran player. The red Terran, it is Oliveira, the world champion himself. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as predictions are now open. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into our TvT. Now, what I was going to get into here is that when it comes to said Terran versus Terran matchup, TY and Oliveira, we saw a lot more from TY side of things. TY, he played against Coffee and he played against Innovation in this very tournament. So we'll see if anything has been gleaned from that. We did see a lot of two-port, two-base all-ins. A lot of two-port, two-base all-ins. I'm sure we're seeing them more here as well. We'll see if we're able to scout each other, react, respond, and shut that down. We'll see. Pressure is on. Let's go. Welcome to BlackRock. BlackRock is an interesting map in the map pool. Is a relatively medium-sized map. Doesn't have an overly short rush distance by ground. Has a more defendable natural base when it comes to the main attack path. There's a lot of choke points. In the center of the map, but specifically the third and fourth base options are much more exposed. They're much more open and much more accessible as well. So we'll see. I feel like, again, aggression typically does rise up when it comes to 3-base play or trying to claim a third expansion. For now, double gas opener out of TY. Meanwhile, we likewise have a double gas opener out of Oliveira as well. So far, mirrored builds. Both players are going for their faster tech. It is going to be a factory before command center. So again, a more safer tech heavy starts from both players. This will keep them safe against, say, proxy 2-axes, for example, 2-ax Reaper. And no proxies yet. Not so far, not in this series. Settling in. All right, before I get ahead of myself, though, it actually happened during the break, but a big shout out to I have to scroll up. Big shout out to Clackons in the chat. God, thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you, we do appreciate it. Happened earlier during the break, so thank you. Do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting of the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. So we are getting in. From here, Reapers do look to move out. It's going to be poking, prodding. We should not overcommit here with the Reaper. We should be pulling back in time. If we commit to a fight, whoever shoots first will overwhelm, and TY has the defender's advantage, so Oliveira, he has to pull away and make it back home. From here, we're kind of waiting for any kind of big divergence. We're just going to be opening up with our CCs on the low ground. We have the option to go for a safer command center in the main base if we did feel a little bit too paranoid. Otherwise, we can settle in, and there it is. Both locations or both command centers are on said low ground. Let's go. Also, I see PCH in the YouTube chat. Yo, calm yourself, because you're acting like a clown. Act like a clown somewhere else. You too, Hapsaya. See Hapsaya and PC. PCEC? PCH. Yeah, watch yourselves. As of now, we're going to be settling in. We have our Hellions moving out across the map, just poking, prodding. From here, oh, okay, TY does mix things up. If you're watching yesterday, you would have seen that TY did go for many a Raven opener, but this is the first time we're seeing TY, at least in this tournament, open up Banshee instead. So we have a Banshee opener in the main base. Reaper Hellion does poke in towards the low ground. Going to be delaying the CC. So far, so good out of Oliveira. We'll delay the expansion, but will not get into the main, and so far is unaware of said Banshee play. Is unaware. And as a result, this does have potential to get a lot of damage done. Bearing in mind this will be slowing down any attempted Raven play coming into a longer game, so this is quite a commitment here from TY, and we'll see what he can get done across the map. For now, Oliveira pokes back in. Cyclone will defend. TY can now start to saturate his bases. And we can see that we're not leaving much at home to defend. Ooh, ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Oliveira, he does commit here to his aggression. Picks up, does boost across the map. Banshee does move out. And behind this is no safety cyclone either. Yeah, no safety cyclone is already one SCV going to be going down. Nice damage here with the Reaper. Again, Banshee is on the way. At the same time, Oliveira, he commits into the main. Oh, does commit in. Catching a depot. Does catch a depot. Lock on the medevac. Lock on is broken. Dragging the army within tank range. Ay, ay, ay. Massive tank shots going off. Getting one Cyclone. Getting the other Cyclone as well. Massive pickoffs. Both Cyclones go down. Heavy losses here for TY. Yeah, some heavy losses at the same time. Banshee does get across the map. We'll find some damage. Remember, there's no cloak. There is no cloak. Vanilla Banshee will kill some SCVs, but we have Vikings just in time. No shot. Vikings, they pop out just in time to defend. Fabi, let's go. It's still going to be 5 SCV kills, but this could have been so much worse. Could have been so much worse. Oliveira, he defends back at home. He's now down in workers, but he's up in army supply. Denies mining at the natural. Does deny mining, but he cannot quite get any ground yet. Still waiting for his Vikings. Ooh, as the Minerva gets picked off. Nice catch from TY. So far, nice catch. With that, we have the Viking lead. TY should lose that Viking. We attempt to throw down the order tarts, but again, another tank goes down. We trade 1-to-1. Oof. 1-to-1 trade when it comes to the tanks, but still a better overall trade here for Oliveira. Behind this, getting a third TC. He's not all in, is expanding, but still getting value. Yeah, still getting more value, pushing further in, getting within range of the mineral line. Does get within range. And TY now stuck on a 1-base economy, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, he's stuck on 1 base. Still even within range of the CC, actually. Yeah, still within range. Likewise, Oliveira still maintains that Viking lead. Has more HP. Snipes to the Viking. Takes down the tank as well. Yeah, still a very clutch trade here as the tank barely survives. Oliveira once again wins the fight, and now he's just snowballing out of control. He's snowballing out of control. Again, back at home, he's getting a third TC up and running, up in bases, up in economy. Second starport's on the way for 2-port mass Viking production. Oh my god, he can't repair. GG gets called. The tank gets caught out as well. And Oliveira takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Oliveira does take a lead in the series. Again, TY had a lot of potential with his attempted Banshee play, but as we emphasized, going into Banshee does mean that the main army was going to be that much weaker. We saw that it did delay his own Raven production, his own auto turrets as well, potential disable if we did want to take in that direction. So it was a big commitment, and the Banshee did kill 6 SCVs, but only 6 workers. Only 6 SCV kills. From there, Vikings did pop out in time to shut that down. Vikings would be on the way to maintain air control, as you even saw a second starport behind that as well, but they happened to be able to shut down the Banshee, and again, there was so much riding on the attempted harass across the map. Likewise, you saw that specifically on Blackrock, you can abuse that low ground position, that natural, with siege lines. With those tanks that can we get within range of the first 2 patches that are closer to the top side, and with that, Oliveira takes a lead, and we'll see if TY can recover. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can bounce back as we get ready for game number 2. Once again, a very aggressive game 1, which is what we expected. As we mentioned previously here, it's very rare to see kind of like mid to late game in TvT. We're expecting early to mid game aggression throughout the course of this entire series. Here we go. Is what we're expecting. So very aggressively played by Oliveira. I mean, that's kind of what we expect from both players coming into the series. Even TY was being aggressive himself, was being a little bit more risky by opening up Banshee. But let's go. Let us go. As in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have the South Korean Terran. It is TY. In the top right, we do have Oliveira, the Chinese Terran. Let's go. Let us go. Oliveira does take a lead, and welcome one and all to Sanctuary 3. Again, Sanctuary 3 is an interesting map in the map pool. It isn't the smallest map. It's a little bit more medium-sized as maps come, but as the observer is pointing out, there are certain aspects of this map that allow for more defensive play. When it comes to the slow zones, the choke points in the center, the destructible towers as well, there are ways to slow down a push if you see it coming ahead of time. When it comes to walling off, when it comes to engaging in the center, making use of that slow zone against your opponent as well, If it goes unscouted though, then the distance between your third and your opponent's third is actually quite short. Like that rush distance from third to third base, if we expand towards each other, is actually very, very short. On top of that, it's also on the same plane of elevation as well. There's no ramp, there's no point of elevation to try to defend. So that is also a factor that has to be brought in, has to be in the back of your mind. But here we go. Here we go. Bearing in mind that last game, both players went for double gas openers. We'll see if that trend continues. TY does scout the third location first for proxy. Don't blame him. Again, it's quite common to go for proxy Raxes and proxy 2 Maxes. We expect that at some point in this series, and oh, there it is. TY does go for the proxy Rax. Now, not the most committed build here by TY. There's 1 Rax back at home, 1 in the center of the map. It is 2 Rax Reaper, but a little bit more of a tame variation of 2 Rax Reaper. Meanwhile, Oliveira is going for an economic build, Rax Expand. So as builds do kind of fare off against each other, I do give the edge to TY. I didn't get to mention it, but one of the reasons why you want to go for an economic build on this map is because there's a ramp coming into the natural. It's a high ground natural base here on Sanctuary 3, so a much more secure 2-base setup. So Oliveira feels like he can get away with a greedier build this time. We'll see if TY can punish said greedy build. Now, thankfully, Oliveira does get the CC on the high ground, not on location, so it's a little bit of a safer variation, but this still means that the factory is late, right? It's going to be a late factory, which means late Hellion. It's going to be on Oliveira to micro well. He has to pull the boys. He has to minimize worker losses, pull back weakened SCVs, and buy enough time to build up his Reapers and to buy time for his Hellion. There's that factory now starting. Ooh, okay, so the factory has now begun. We do see that Oliveira is situated here on top of his ramp. TY starts to move out. And we'll see what TY can get done. As you can see, TY is floating back home. Like, this is not an all-in. As we mentioned, this is a very tame variation of 2 Rax Reaper. Reapers they poke in, no CC on the low ground. And TY doesn't test up, he does not check up the ramp. Okay, never mind. I assumed that TY would test the waters and try to find some damage here, but the answer is no. He backs off instead, so Oliveira gets away with a greedier build. So Oliveira, he's going to get his CC up and running, a faster command center, he'll be able to land it, and again, he was not threatened whatsoever. He was not threatened. So I do give the edge to Oliveira here. From here, TY, he's building up back at home, getting a safety bunker, getting to his own cyclone. Remember, Oliveira did not check up the ramp, so for all he knows, it could have been double gas, right? It could have been a double gas opener in TY's mind. So he's setting up defensively for something that is not coming his way. Because it's not Reaper Hellion, it's Reaper Cyclone. And even then, it's only 1 Reaper. So in the end, this is a better start, a better early game for Oliveira. So here we are going to be opening up. Stim is going to be on the way. Getting to Stim. Likewise, we do have a Banshee production once again. This time out of Oliveira. Okay, the turns have tabled. So we do have a Banshee opener out of our red Terran instead of our Korean Terran player. We do have Banshee opener in towards some harass across the map. Meanwhile, back at home, we do see much earlier Stim out of TY. So we do have a bit of a divergence here. On the one hand, Oliveira can harass earlier with that Banshee, and he's rushing into a third CC to be greedy. Meanwhile, TY, he delays tank production in favor of fast Stim. So really fast Stim out of TY. This tells us that TY wants to go for much earlier Stim timing. Much earlier. So again, TY is going to be the aggressor. And we'll see if Oliveira can piece together what's going on. If Oliveira tries to expand and spreads himself thin, then Oliveira will be in trouble. But now the Banshee does pick forward. Catching out 1, 2, 3 ACVs. The Cyclone will zone this away. Oh, and can we shut it down? We can! Very nice pick up here by TY. Shuts down the Banshee. And remember that Stim timing is coming. Stim is almost done, the Marines are amassing as well. TY can soon move out across the map. And the other scary thing about what just happened is that Oliveira didn't just lose his Banshee, but he failed to scout the main. Didn't get in, doesn't know what's happening, doesn't know what's going on. So Oliveira, he's playing blind.
这个组合现在雷达扫了，看到了，他这个很明显是个空投枪逼开局啊，很明显的。我觉得这个打法只要看到了这个对，猪鸭双线，然后加力防可以完美应对，两个猪鸭应对很完美，因为对面只有枪兵啊，所以猪鸭在家里面没有什么作用，也是多线骚扰。
As from here, TY does claim his own third. Getting on location. Here comes the bio move out. Pushing across the map. He's pushing out. And we'll see if we can get into the main base. Yeah, he's going for that drop. Again, this is so committed out of TY, but again, it's completely unscattered. Oh, doesn't push into the main. Okay, where are we going? Is going to unload at the same time. Oliveira here passes across the map, gets into the main, into the mineral line. We'll pick off a couple of SCVs. Gets 1, 2, 3. 3 SCVs going down, and TY has yet to pull the trigger. As we have the second Raven into the natural. Again, TY has a lot of potential with all that bio. He's had Stim for quite some time. But he has yet to commit. Yeah, TY just playing it safe. And he's missing his window. Yeah, TY, the window is closing. We tried to emphasize earlier that there was a window in time where he would have Stim and all these Marines over his opponents. But as time goes on, Oliveira is finishing up Stim himself. Oliveira is building up his tanks. He's building up his bio. And TY is missing that window. He's missing that timing, that opportunity. Yeah, for now, he's just distracted by the harass. TY pulls away. It's possible that he might just be waiting for the third to be thrown down. Or waiting for a move out. As now he's going to be reinforcing. Okay, he's got his 3 tanks. TY is pushing out. Now much more committed with a stronger force. True. We'll see if this pays off. The idea of waiting for reinforcements, waiting for his tanks. Oliveira does siege. It does siege up. Pulls back the 3rd CC. And TY pulls away. Yeah, there's no opening. Pushing into a siege line is going to be brutal. Does he commit? Ooh, not quite. Well, TY sims away. Does sim back. Nice hold position micro. Here comes the junior over to the main. He's going for the drop. There are some turrets in position, but only 2. He commits. Yeah, he does boost in. Does boost in. Will on the... Ooh, no, he gets deflected. He doesn't commit, Pappy. He does not commit. Oliveira defends. We can see TY rotate towards the 3rd base, and are the tanks sieged up in time? They are. Yeah, they are sieged up. Tanks are exposed, and TY is going to lose everything. Aye. 3 tanks go down. Heavy losses for TY. TY, he was so tentative this game. It felt like he was second guessing everything that he was doing. Like he had his timings, he had his window. He chose not to go into the main base initially. He chose to wait for his tanks. He left the army idle. It allowed Oliveira to build back up. Even here, I was tentative when it came to dropping into the main. And with that, Oliveira is snowballing out of control. He's starting to get out of hands. Oliveira does take a tank lead. Does sim in. We can see Oliveira. He does bypass the entire army. Aye. Sims into natural. SCVs are going to be going down. Heavy losses here for TY. Completely out of position. 15 SCV kills. Oof. And this is critical damage. This is game-ending damage. At this point, TY is all in. TY is all in. In a mirror matchup, the idea of trying to recover economically here and just play standard is insane. There are other ways to recover. Doom drops, right? Drop play, counterattacks, trying to bypass outposition your opponent. There are some ways to recover, but TY has to do something. He cannot just stay back at home. He cannot stand idly by. Oliveira going for another double drop. Oliveira does leave all of his tanks at the 3rd. TY does start to move out. As Oliveira gets spotted. TY is aware. And TY is going to try to shuttle him up, getting a 4 CC on location. Now it's Oliveira's turn to move out. The armies are about to clash. Show us the armor shred. Oh. Does catch Oliveira. Shreds the armor. TY has to be careful. Abandoned his tanks for a moment there. But TY trying to buy time. Oliveira, he's maxed. At this point, he's maxed out. Can now start to push. I think the best chance here for Oliveira, sorry, for TY, is that Oliveira pushes through the center, TY backstabs, and then forces Oliveira to come back home. And then TY pulls away, right? Just to buy time to try to, like, force a pseudo-base trade. But engaging head-on like this? Like, no shot. He's going for it, though. Does use his tanks. Marines, they stim in. Massive armor shred, but the tanks are disabled. Yeah, massive disable here on the tanks. 3 more tanks go down. At TY, he has 0 tanks left with the main army. Just purely Marines, and Oliveira, he is dominating here. He's going to move out across the map. We have 2 tanks left back at home. Did I say 2? Down to 1. Down to 1. Down to 0. 0 tanks left. Massive tank voice going off. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Oliveira, he'll take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Oliveira, he'll take a lead. Once again, winning it back here. TY, it felt, to me at least, it felt like lack of confidence out of TY. His build made sense. He did have some timings available to him. Like, remember, how did this game begin? TY, he shut down the Banshee, right? He shut down the Banshee. He built them into early stim. He moved that across the map. And we saw he loaded it up. He got ready to go into the main base. He backed off. He unloaded. And he was waiting outside of the main for like a minute, like 60 seconds. He was just staying idle there, and it looked like maybe he was waiting to see if Oliveira would expand, but he never scanned the main, like to see if there was like an army waiting for him. Like maybe he was waiting for Oliveira to expand or to move out himself, so he just left the army there. He waited for his tanks to reinforce, which did happen much later, and this gave Oliveira time to build up his own force, to have a comparable army, and to finish up stim himself. Like there was a big window of time there where TY had stim over Oliveira, but he missed that window of opportunity. He wasn't able to make use of his otherwise tech lead. GG. GG, well played. With that, Oliveira, he's up 2-0, and we are getting ready for game number 3. The pressure is very much so on TY. It's been a short series so far, short games, which is what we expect out of TvT, to be fair, but I would still like a back and forth of some kind, as game 3 is going to be on Rainfall. Ooh, hyper aggressive map. Let's go. Small map of the map pool, short rush distance by ground. Vamonos. Here we go. As we're getting ready here for game number 3. I got to set the tone, baby. Okay. Let's jump into game number 3. Nope. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Rainfall, we have the blue Terran player, himself. We have the South Korean Terran. It is TY. In the left hand corner, we have the Chinese Terran player, the red Terran. It is Oliveira. Let's go. Let us go. We are settling into game number 3. Game number 3 here, the potentially final game of the series. I'm hoping for a longer series. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I want to sink our teeth into this series, this TvT. But the reality is, Oliveira needs one more game, and this map is Rainfall, favors aggression. Small map of the map pool, short rush distance by ground, exposed 3rd, exposed 4th base, short rush distance to the natural, high ground area outside of the natural as well. So there's a lot of aspects of this map that does favor hyper aggression, that leans towards shorter games, and we're expecting another short one here. But whether TY can fight back or not, we're here to find out. Here we go. All right, even before the speaking about tentative play at a TY, even in regards to the opener, remember he went 2x Reaper, but he did not poke up the ramp to see what was going on to try to find some damage. Despite the more aggressive build, he saw the lack of CC on the low ground, and that was enough for TY to back off. Whereas, you know, we can maybe take a risk, take a chance to try to find some other damage, but in the end, it also meant that Oliveira had a more economic build as well, right? He got away with the economic start. And remember, to put more emphasis on that stim timing, what was Oliveira doing when TY was rushing stim? Oliveira was rushing a third CC. He was rushing a third base, so he was being greedy, he was vulnerable. There's a lot that kind of played into that. But here we go. For now, we're going to be loading to game number 3, and we do have a double gas opener out of TY. So double gas opener with this, faster factory, a more tech-heavy start. This is considered to be a safer way to open up, as it does shut down proxy play, but also allows you to be aggressive yourself. Meanwhile, we do see Oliveira being greedy. Single gas opener. Single gas into a faster CC. So economic build once again out of Oliveira. This time we do see a bit of a more tech-heavy start out of TY. Now, technically, this can turn into a one-base all-in. One-base all-ins are quite rare if they're not proxied in TvT. From here, we should still be expanding, but it does mean faster Hellion, it can mean faster Cyclone, it can also mean faster Starport and faster Tech and faster drop play as well. There's options for how TY wants to open up. We have options. We go. The normal man, let's go. True, true. The normal man. Ay, ay, ay. Buenos dias, buenos dias. Good morning, good morning. From here, we do have our racks into Tech Lab for Oliveira. Just building up initially Marines just to maintain control of his bases. It is going to be Reaper Hellion out of TY, but no reactor. No reactor play? Not yet. And again, we'll see what is done with our tech structures with said starport. As Tech Lab is on the way, we can go for the add-on swap and go into, say, fast Cyclone drop. We can go into a tank drop. We can go into an add-on swap into, instead, early Banshee play. We have seen a surprising amount of Banshees this series. True. Game 1, it was TY. Game 2, it was Oliveira. There's the swap. Are we opening Banshee or just Raven? So now we're calming down. And we have the answer of Banshee. Okay, so Banshee opener out of Oliveira and out of TY. You know what? Game 1 it was Oliveira. Sorry, game 1 it was TY. Game 2 was Oliveira. Game 3 it's both. Both players are going to be opening up Banshee. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I don't know if you noticed something, but I was a little bit weirded out. TY's starport was late this game. It was delayed. So that's why the Banshees are actually neck and neck when it comes to their production, whereas it should have been faster for TY. But I did notice. Oh, we see TY researching Interference Matrix. I'm curious if that's a fake out as fake cloak, or if he intends to let it finish so he can go into Raven play after. Curious. As our Banshees are moving out, we see Oliveira starting up his own Raven. Oh, Oliveira being greedy once again. He got away with the last game. Very fast third CC. Third CC before any second racks or second factor or second anything. So hyper greed out of Oliveira. Banshees move out. And who punishes who? Now, TY does have one Cyclone backing him to defend. I don't think Oliveira has a Cyclone. His anti-air is just purely Marine. Ooh, so Oliveira is vulnerable. Yeah, his Cyclones are across the map, not at home to defend. Ay, ay, ay. There's potential for TY. Banshee does poke in. Cyclone to defend. Hellions get called out, and who catches who? Ooh, nice tank shot. Yeah, nice tank shot by TY. TY, he defends back at home, and can I say the same about Oliveira? Now, TY parked his Banshee in the corner of the map, so it has a long time to move in. So once again, this is giving Oliveira time to respond, and the Cyclones are coming home. No shot. Yeah, they're more or less in position. The Banshee gets 1, gets 2, gets maybe 3 SCVs. Yeah, 3 workers going to be going down. Cyclones, they come in. Auto turret as well. Doesn't even need the turret. The Banshee goes down and only 2 SCV kills. Oof. That's not quite worth a Banshee. And as the dust settles, Oliveira has a slight advantage over his opponent. I mean, I say slight advantage. Remember, Oliveira does have that 3rd CC. Ooh, he will lose his Banshee. Banshee goes down. TY commits. Last tanks are in position. And it isn't about the lack of damage being done here, but as we mentioned, Oliveira, he has a 3rd base done. TY just now starts his 3rd on location. Meanwhile, Oliveira is, I believe, is already in orbital. Oh. I believe it is already. Double E is on the way for double upgrades. That is for Oliveira. 3rd TC not going to be landing. TY, the pressure's on him to delay. Again, TY is behind economically, so he has to delay this 3rd base. He's going to be moving in. Tank's already sieged. Massive tank shots here on the Cyclone. Cyclone goes down. Yeah, Cyclone does fall, and so will the other Cyclone. Massive stable in the tanks, and TY will lose everything here. Massive overextension. You got to respect the Ravens, Pappy. As it all just crumbles, and Oliveira, once again, he dominates the fight. He gets away with the faster 3rd base and with the better fight as well. He's with the larger army. And it all just falls apart for TY. It all falls apart. Force land the Vikings. He's got 1 tank left, trying to make a stand. The tank will go down. And it's going to be a clean sweep. It's going to be a clean sweep, Pappy. As Oliveira, he's rushing across the map. He does overextend and will lose both Vikings. Ooh, so a bit of an overextension there from Oliveira. Got to be careful. Pushing into tank fire. Oliveira, he's trading inefficiently here. He will... he's got enough anyway. He's got enough anyway. GG gets called. He does everyone with littles left. And Oliveira, he will claim the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Oliveira. He does claim the series. He will advance on. A very strong showing here by Oliveira. Again, a hyper aggressive series, which is what we expect out of TvT, but it was hyper aggressive and heavily in favor of Oliveira, which I was not expecting. I was expecting a back and forth here. Of course, Oliveira, he was practicing until 2 a.m. last night, until 2 a.m. in the morning, so a lot of time, a lot of practice there for Oliveira. Meanwhile, TY, I will say, had some potential. I'm still thinking about game 2. Right? I'm still thinking about the game on Sanctuary, where if TY had a little bit more confidence or was maybe a little bit more daring in his play with his early Reaper play, with his stim timing as well, then we could have had maybe a back and forth. Here, I don't blame TY for pushing the way that he did, because remember, he was behind. He had to do some kind of damage and delay the 3rd base, but he pushed too far forward. Usually, and this might show some of the lack of recent experience when it comes to TY, but sieging up your tanks and containing your opponents and denying the 3rd makes sense, but he did more than that. He tried to push into the natural, which is crazy, by the way. So he pushed further, more than just the 3rd base, in towards the natural. That's where he overextended. Mass disables went off, and Oliveira snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations. Oliveira will claim the series, and we are getting ready for our winners interview up next. Let's go. Let us go. Likewise, we may have a show match as well. Someone in the chat was asking about it earlier, asking about any potential show matches, and I was confused. I was like, no, they already finished. But the Wikipedia page was updated, and a show match was added to the Wikipedia page. So I'm assuming that that's going to be before the finals. It is a show match between Diego, between Kellezer and... was it Emo? Yeah, Kellezer and Emo. For now, though, interview time.
恭喜李培南3-0战胜了 TY， 进入我们的决赛哦。赛前如临大敌，结果比赛的时候非常轻松的拿下了。你赛前有没有想过自己会这么快的3-0拿下？
也没想过吧，因为我看他打吕布还有咖啡的时候打得挺好的，但是可能我打得更好一点吧。
哇哦！那也是问一下，就是有一把他是家里一个 BB， 然后在外面也 BB， 你当时是有一个细节把2基地放在主矿，然后导致他战术失败了。当时这个细节是怎么考虑的？
其实我不知道他野东西了，是因为我们之前练的，我就是跟咖啡还有其他人都说，我说我要打一个全防流，就是我可以不侦查的情况下也能防住他的部队，因为我感觉新版本的话太早飞2基地的话也踩不了，所以基本上我就后边就把所有基地都放在上面了，而且我这套整体运营下来比他快很多。
是的，那还有一波就是你是2个防空防住了他的一个空投，正面又偷掉了他3个坦克，还杀了他家里很多农民啊。那一波记得吗？其实细节把控的也很不错，那一波是算到了吗？
因为说实话，他这个先两兵的打法最开始和我练的，他当时最能打的时候就是我当时。我觉得我的 TvT 还是可以的，因为当时在韩国人族他们这帮人最巅峰的时候，我当时都能赢他们，所以现在我觉得我更能赢。
那总决赛要面对到嘎姐啊，也是你的这个老朋友了，要打这个 TvZ 了，有信心吗？
说实话，我对 TvZ 我不是对嘎姐，我打嘎姐没，我对重组没什么信心，因为我最近训练下来，感觉新版本的 TvZ 就特别难打，基本上我如果平稳的运营的话，就真的会落后1个身位。但是昨天晚上就是也集训了一下，搞了点新东西，看看就是很难打。但是我觉得我这次准备的还是那句话，我觉得我准备的很充分，无非结果就2个输或者赢。但是我觉得过程比较重要吧。我觉得这次我备战的让我很踏实。
天道酬勤，李少为了这个比赛付出了很多的努力跟训练。我们再一次把掌声送给李培南，期待他在决赛能有好的表现。谢谢大家。那我们接下来会为大家带来一场 emo 跟克拉祖的表演赛，千万不要走开，我们休息一下，一会儿回来。
Shout out to Oliveira. GG, well played. Oliveira does claim the series once again. Shout out to Babelings for some translations in the chat, and of course for our host for conducting said interview. Very quickly catching up with the interview itself. So Oliveira was asked, did you foresee a clean sweep? Oliveira's like, nope. God no. I was asked a little bit more about some of the games. The proxy, the proxy, Oliveira said he didn't know about the proxy at all. I mean, of course, because if you remember, the proxy was in game 2, and TY didn't even commit with the Reapers. Remember, TY, he went for the proxy 2x Reaper. Reapers moved in, saw nothing at the natural, then he retreated. So yeah, Oliveira, he had no idea what was going on. Like TY was kind of mind gaming himself there. And it was also really nice to hear that apparently they practiced together. I mean, we heard the same thing about Neeb and Scarlet. When Neeb and Scarlet were practicing in the lead up to this, sounds like maybe TY and Oliveira were also practicing a little bit as well. And Oliveira was a little bit more mentally prepared for potential Doom drops and drop play in general, which TY was attempting to do, and Oliveira was already kind of set up for that. I would imagine that they practiced this before they found out they had to play against each other, kind of like Neeb and Scarlet, where they practiced before the group stage. It's possible the same thing happened between TY and Oliveira, and then bam, they happened to play against each other. So a little bit unfortunate in that respect, but strong showing there by Oliveira. Strong showing. Yeah. Oliveira was asked, how do you feel about versing Scarlets? I'm not scared of Scarlet, but I'm not confident about versing Zerg in the new patch. True. I practice a lot, so I'll do my best. Oliveira. But again, thank you so much, Babelings, for the translations. And you heard the comment there as well from the host that it looks like we are going to have a show match first between Kellezer and Emo. So it's going to be a best of one. Remember that. Best of one show match. We'll see what kind of shenanigans ensue, but there's going to be a fun show match first, and then the best of 7 grand finals. This does mean that Oliveira has a little bit of time to rest, bearing in mind that Scarlet has been, resting and recuperating this entire time. So Oliveira's got a little bit of time to himself here to get ready and prepare for those finals. And Kellezer and Emo will do their best to entertain us while that happens. Let's go. Let us go. Let us go. But with that, we're going to be going on a short break. And as we mentioned, when we come back, we will have our next series. We will have our show match. Let's go. Let us go. We'll see you soon.